kids! My name is Dax, and I am new to Cool Kids team. And my flavor is watermelon. Try one today.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين وحييكم إخواني وأخواتي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. May the peace, mercy and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon you. Today, inshallah, in our 6th session of learning to read Arabic script with vowels, we are going to have some practical examples of words from the Quran in which inshallah we will observe how some of the words are written. And there are some other examples of words and some of the rules that we have not covered in previous classes, and today inshallah we will close off this chapter of reading the Arabic script. So let's get moving, and the first thing I would like to speak about is about the attachment line or the connection line. That is what attaches one letter to the next letter. Because I need to talk about this a little bit because sometimes based on what you have learned previously, you would have probably noticed that I did not talk much about the connection, and maybe sometimes you may see a letter written differently from how I had written it on the board. All right, so hence the reason I have to, bring that to your attention and for you to be aware of how it is written. So let's take, for example, right here in the Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. If you were to check the Quran, all right, I'm talking about the Quran that was printed in Medina, from the King Fahd printing press in Medina. All right, the script is maybe a little bit, not maybe, but it is somehow different from the Indo-Pak prints. All right, and so we want to look at some of the words that are written in this. So for the Bismillah, the first part of it, you would notice the ba, small, and then the letter sin, and then there is a long line going all the way like that. All right? So this here is the attachment line, all right? Or the connector line, attaching or connecting from one letter to the next. So we have the letter ba, then the letter sin, and then the letter mim. So between the mim and the sin, you have this long line. This is what is called the attachment line or the connection line. So I want to point out to you that there is no specific length of the attachment line. All right? And the attachment line normally can go very long, and it could also be very short. All right? It could be right there. All right? Right next to it. It's long. And sometimes with the length, people who are into calligraphy, they sometimes want to be a little bit artistic, and they might do it like that, So don't let the length of the attachment line confuse you. All you need to do is to follow that letter from where it started, and you just go and see where the next letter is. Now, the attachment line or the connector line, you have to be mindful of one very important point, and that is, with this attachment line, it should not carry any kind of a wave, right? So you can't make the attachment line like this, because this will cause confusion between the letter sin, for example. So it has to be, a straight, or it could be like make a dip. All right? So I thought that I point out that to you. So that's just one example. And if you're just looking at the Bismillah, all right? Bismillah, which appears at the beginning of every chapter of the Quran. And then you may have the alif coming right above the mim and the lam and the ha, all right? And then you have the next word, Ar-Rahman. And what you would notice with this one is the letter Noon, the Noon itself. So now it's not the attachment line, but it's actually a letter, and the letter is stretched like this, right? And then you have the next word here starting inside here, all right? So it looks something close to this, all right? So you shouldn't get confused with the letter, because you're seeing one dot above, and the letter Noon has one dot above. All right? So, attachment line. No specific line, length, and sometimes some of the letters can, take also a longer shape rather than the normal shape. All right? So that's one. Now, normally you would have, let's say this is the letter Ya, and then we want every alif to it. So this is Ya, Ya, and then we have this here. I can't remember if I spoke about the mad, but we have Ya Adam, Adam. So basically, this here is when you have the alif with, let's say, you have a fatha. It gives me the sound of ah. But if you have to lengthen this, like how we add the alif, which is a lengthener, lengthening the fatha sound. This is ya. Ya by itself is just ya. Ya. But if we want ya, so this is ya. And here is ya. Two is, right? So we have ah. Supposing now we want to get ah. All right, so then how are we going to add an alif like to that? So alif plus another alif. This is what the Arabs do. They write the alif one time and they put this sign above it, like a wave. So the wave indicates that the alif is lengthened in the sound. So go ah. All right? Ah. Okay? So coming back here to this now, so we have ya, a, damu, damu, ya, adamu. In the Quran, you might see it, you would see it like this. The ya is like this. And then instead of this long alif, they have a little alif like this. All right? A little tiny alif. And then they went on to this next alif here. Okay? Now, they have a little sign like that, it's called mad. Mad means lengthening. All right? And here's also here. So it's ya, ya Adamu. So ya, which is this, and then that. So it looks like here is two words you're seeing, one word here, and this is another word, but the two have been joined together, and this is the ending results. So you have ya Adamu. Ya Adamu. All right? So that's one of the examples. Then we can look at the other examples also, with other words. So while I'm writing the word on the board, you will try to figure out, as I'm writing the word, and see if you could identify the letters quickly. All right. So I am not saying it as I'm writing it. I'm leaving it for you to figure out. All right. So we identify the letters Alif, Lam, Mim, Lam again, and Alif, Hamza on the chair, Kaf, K, Kaf, and this is attachment line here, and this is the letter Ta, the closed Ta. So if we have it like this, all right. So we have Al, Ma, La, I, Ka, Tu. All right. So you may see something like this. All right. But in the Quran, it's not written like this. You have the Alif, and look at the meme. The meme may go this way. All right, so if you go to the opposite direction, because Arabic is written from right to left, so we're supposed to go this way. But if it goes to the opposite direction, this little thing here is a meme. So this is replaced like this. This is meme. All right, so we have La. So now, the Lam, which is this, and you have the Alif. Instead of this long Alif, you will see a tiny Alif like this, right next to the Lam. So then you will lengthen this Lam and you will say La. And the Hamza, instead of sitting on the chair here, the chair is here, but the Hamza is underneath. All right? Like that. So if the Hamza is below, it indicates that it is a kasra, right? As long as it is below, it is kasra. If the Hamza is above, it can either be a fatha or a dhamma, the A song or the U song, or O or U. All right, but if it's below, it's the E or the I. Okay, and then we have the two dots here. So, al-malaikatu is the same thing here. Al-malaikatu. Okay? So that's another example of how it is written in the Quran. Let's look at another example. You have Alif Kesra is E. But if you want E, we add a Ya. Okay? And of course I hope you can remember that Alif is one of the letters that does not allow attachment to any letter coming afterwards. Hence the reason the Ya is not attached to the Alif. All right? So we have E, and then we have La. All right? So you have E, La, Fi. In the Quran, you might have it like this. right? And you might see a little alif below, not on top, below. So if it's written like this, that means it's same as the same song here, E. And then the lam without this long alif, and just the fa. And then you have the alif here. So E, la, fi is the same as E, la, fi. Okay? So you have, this is how it is written, like, you know, in the Quranic script. And of course, you know, this program is really helping people, you know, to read the script from the Quran. Of course, if you want to get better in the recitation of the Quran, after having completed the basic reading course, then there is another level of the recitation of the Quran. So what I'm teaching basically is just to learn to read Arabic script with vowels, and it can be from any book. Any book. But when it comes to the Quran, which we all believe is the final revelation of Almighty God, Allah, all right? There are certain rules of recitation, and these rules are called the rules of tajweed, or the rules of the recitation of the Quran. And tajweed really is a derivative of the word Jude. And Jude really is just like the word good. All right? Maybe the word good was really Jude. It's an Arabic word, but there is some distortion in the sound. Because if you analyze the word good, it is spelled G-O-O-D. But we say good. But if we have F-O-O and D, we say food. We don't say food. All right, so English language is, you know, it's sometimes like this and sometimes like this, and it confuses people. But the Arabic language is not like that. So Jude, which is good, right? Tajweed is from that same word, is a derivative. So basically what it really means is to recite the Quran in the best manner. And there are certain rules of the recitation of the Quran that has to be with elongation, like what is called the mud, like what you're seeing on the board here, the mud, all right? So it has to do with elongation, it has to do with distortion, it has to do with conversion, it has to be with suppression, and many other rules, all right? And that in itself can take at least 15 sessions, all right, to learn some of the basic rules, all right? And then if you want to go into more details, then it will take a number of other sessions. But we will not be doing those rules of the recitation of the Quran. What I am giving you here basically is just to manage the simple recitation of words that have the, that have the vowels. And again, we can look at another example. Let's say, for example, you have a wow here. So what you will also be observing as we are looking at these examples is that we will also be getting some revision of some of the other rules that we have done before, all right? So all of these things are taken into consideration. Chapter 79 of the Quran begins after the Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. You have this word, one, so we have like this. If let's forget for a while, we're not looking at how it is written in the Quran, but let's try to read this simple script, how it is, and then I will show you how it is written in the Quran. So we have the letter waw. The alif is not pronounced, all right, and the lam is also not pronounced, all right? Now you, as a beginner who is now trying to read Arabic script, how would you know when you should pronounce the alif and when you should not pronounce it? So I had indicated to you in one of the previous sessions that alif and lam coming together, all right, the alif coming first and then the lam, al, which is normally attached to a word, is really the definite article, all right? So which is the, and like you say, the, all right? It's the name of an angel, Nazi'at, all right? And one Nazi'at. So the alif and the lam, all right, sometimes the alif here would be pronounced, and other times it is not pronounced. And the lam, sometimes it is pronounced, and other times it may not be pronounced. And it has to do with a few rules. So one of the rules is that if the alif is preceded by another word, then the vowel that the alif would normally carry, which is a fatha, would disappear. So if you look at the Quran, you would not see anything on the alif. And then the lam, if it is silent, normally you would see something like this. All right? A little sign like that. That little sign is an indication that the lam is silent, it is not pronounced. All right? And it has to do with the letter that comes after the lam. Like there are 14 letters that come after the lam. These 14 letters, if any one of them come after the lam, then the lam is silent. They're called the sun letters. But we are not doing all of those rules. All right? But because the noon is a sun letter, that's why the lam is silent. But we are not trying to, to go into the details as to why the lam is silent and so on. Okay? When we go to the Arabic course, which inshallah will follow this reading course, we will be diving into the Arabic language, inshallah. For our next session, we'll be starting in the Arabic language. All right? So we are not trying to justify anything here. So we are just looking at signs we want to be able to read. So alif is not pronounced, alif is not lengthened in the waw. This alif does not belong to the waw. It's not a part of the waw. Wa, right, is just by itself. The alif and lam together from this word, so it doesn't concern the waw. All right, so the alif is not pronounced. Why it is not pronounced? Because there is a letter before it. There is a word before it. The lam is silent because of that. Okay, so when we are going to pronounce this word, we're going to join the waw straight to the noon. So we say one. And remember the rule of the shadda. Join me and call me again. That is what the letter is saying. So join me. We say one. And call me again. Na. And it is lengthened. One na zi. The ayn is lengthened. Ti. All right? So in the Quran, it is written like this. All right? So it's the same thing. One na, the little alif here is replacing this long alif. Zi, the little alif replacing this long alif here. One nazi'ati. All right? So you have many examples of words like this. Like as-samawat, as-sa-ma-wat. It's written like this. So, right? So it will be as-sa-ma-wa-tu or ti, whatever it is. All right? So the small alif replacing the big alif. All right? So look out for all of these examples, words like them, and there are many of them in the Quran. Another rule of reading, we have already learned previously, that's ma. But supposing you have a word beginning with and alif lam. So how am I going to join here? Here, am I going to say ma and then mal? No. This alif now will become silent. This one is already silent. So we just say mal. Like if this alif does not exist. All right? It has to be written. It must be written, but it is not pronounced. So we just say mal qari'ah. Mal qari'ah. All right? Mal qari'ah. Wa ma ad ra ka. Notice also how the word, there is no attachment to the letters. All right, so we are getting revision also of the letters that don't allow attachment. So the dal was not attached to the alif because alif is one of those letters that does not allow attachment to letters coming afterwards. Likewise, the dal was not attached to the ra because dal is one of the 6 letters that does not allow attachment to letters coming after. Likewise, the ra, the same thing. Likewise, the alif here again. So that's it. So we have ad, ra, ka. All right? Which is the same as ad, in the Quran it is written like this. They put the alif inside a chair here. All right? Adraka. So for the Quranic script is termed as the most advanced form of Arabic writing. All right? And that's because the words normally from previous times were written without vowels, which would have challenged the minds of the reciters to be able to fix the vowels properly by knowing the rules of grammar, to know when to put a fatha or a kasra, a dhamma, and so on, especially coming to the end of the word. But because many people who were non-Arabs accepted Islam, and to make it easy for them to be able to recite the Quran and recite it properly with all of the correct vowels, the scholars of Islam, they have put in all of the vowels for us so that, we will be able to recite the Quran correctly. All right? So you have many examples. Like you say, was. All right? So the sword, so we have was, the alif is not pronounced, the lam is not pronounced. Normally you would see something like that. So you have was, the waw is joined straight to the sword. So you have was, and then call the sword again, saw, because you have to lengthen it because there's an alif here. Was saw, and then while we are lengthening, we are not pausing or stopping. We're going to join to the fa. We're going to join to the fa. So it's pronounced was sof, and we're going to the fa. Was sofati, was sofati. All right, many examples like that in the Quran. All right. So you have, for example, إِذَا الشَّمْسُ كُوِّرَتْ, same thing. And, we could look at more examples, inshallah ta'ala. All right, let's look at this one now. Wa. So I will explain this inshallah to you in a short while. Let's go for a quick break, and inshallah we'll come back and we'll look at this example.
Only at Poseidon, the food king. Stock up and save more on Flavorite ice cream assorted. 3.2 liters, 2 buckets for only $95. Clean and white bleach. 3.78 liters, now $31.99. Sierra Chicken Franks 3-pack, now $20. Nescafe Instant Coffee Classic, 170 grams, now $59.99. Golden Brand Margarine Stick, 225 grams, 3-pack, now $20. Guiltless Yum Yogurt, 4 tubs, now $20. Central Farm Halal Duck, 4 pounds, now $99. Plus, more savings in store. Sale ends June 7th or while stocks last.
Poseidon, quality value, that's our way. The real Poseidon, we're here to stay. The food king Poseidon.
Enjoying Nice's family of fine foods, including our Jamaican-style patties. This complements Nice's range of premium chicken burger patties, lamb patties, beef hot dog, and our smoked beef and lamb sausages. Also, you can try Nice's halal gummy bears, available at leading supermarkets and at Nice's wholesale outlet. You can also shop for grocery and household items. Nice brand products, 23 Beocal Road, Conopia. Telephone 665-3078 or 665-3079. Nicer is nicer. SHAYKH Leisure Limited, making life easier. Our renowned great tasting vermicelli comes pre-cut in regular and parch, packaged to make preparation simple. Attention all doubles vendors and roti makers, try our high quality pre-sifted bromate free all-purpose and whole wheat flour, low price and conveniently packaged. For wholesale and retail prices, contact SHAYKH Leisure Limited, Warrenville, Conopia. SHAYKH Leisure Limited, quality you can trust.
When the moment comes to honor a loved one, compassion, dignity and faith matter most. Come to Shyam's Islamic Funeral Services Limited. We provide trusted Islamic funeral and burial services, grounded in tradition and handled with care. From ghusl and shrouding to transportation, janaza coordination, burial arrangements, and special international repatriation services of your loved ones. With professionalism, with respect, with heart. Shyam's Islamic Funeral Services Limited, serving our community with honor.
Welcome once again as we continue learning how to read Arabic script with vowels. So I wrote 2 words here, but before we go to these words, I want to take you back to this mal qari a. So what we have noticed here in this, we have one letter not pronounced here, and this one is also not pronounced. Okay? Then we could have, not we could have, but it is in the Quran. All right? But we are seeing an example of where we will have to leave out this is 2 letters here. Here we are going to ignore this one. So this is one alif not going to be pronounced. By itself it is idha lengthened. But because it's going to be joined here, all right, the alif is not pronounced for what reason? Because there is a word before. That is the rule that I just explained to you. And I also told you that there are certain letters that come after the alif and lam, which makes the lam silent also. Sheen is one of those letters. So if there is a sheen coming alif after the alif and lam, then you will find the lam is also silent. Okay? So here we have a scenario of one letter, two letter, three letters not being pronounced. So then if you're going to join and read this, we'll have E, and the vowel is going to jump straight to the shin. All right? So we get E-vesh, E-vesh, vesh. The vowel joined straight to the shin. And we have ignored 1, 2, 3 letters. Silent. Either shamsu, either shamsu, either shamsu kuwirat. Let's look at this one now. A, mi, lu. Okay, so we have wa, a, mi. Now by this, without this word, it will be pronounced ami lu, not luwa, but ami lu. So normally you would see it like this. Based on what I have taught you before, you would understand this to be wa amiluwa, amiluwa, but it is not amiluwa. It is amilu. Then why is there an aleph here? All right? So that aleph is really a separation from the word that follows. The Arab grammarians, they have put in an extra aleph to basically separate one word from another word. All right? And that is because of confusion can happen when certain words that may come before and there is no attachment. It's a long rule to explain, but I can just say it very quickly to you, but I hope you could catch it on. All right, certain letters, for example, let's say you have wa'adu, all right? Wa'adu, wa'adu. Wa'adu would normally be written like this, wa'adu. But if there is another word coming after that, all right? You notice the waw and the waw coming together, and people might get confused with this word. If it is written without the space here and they're close together, it might cause some kind of confusion with people. So the Arabs, they added in an extra aleph to separate this word from this word, indicating to the reader that this word is already completed, it's finished. All right, so let's leave that out. So normally, the way how it is going to be read now is like this. So this aleph is not pronounced, all right? So that's 1, X. This one here is not pronounced. And this one is not pronounced. So you have wa, a, mi, lu, all right? And it's going to join straight here to the sword. The waw is also silent. So we will not lengthen it and we will not say wa'amilu solihat, wa'amilu solihat. No. Wa'amilus, wa'amilus. So the waw is silent. All right? The waw is silent. We're not lengthening the lam. You're not going to say lu, but just go short, lu. But you're not stopping at lu. You have to join the lu to the sword. So it'll be lus. Waw is silent, the aleph is silent, the aleph is silent, the lam is silent. All of them silent. So you have 4 silent letters. We had 2 silent letters, 3 silent letters. We have 4 silent letters. You can't have more than 4 silent letters coming together. All right, that's the maximum. وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. All right? All right. Let's look at something else where you have 2 shadda coming together. you may have something like this. Il, li, yun. Il, li, yun. Illiyun. Or you could have il, li, yin. Il, li, yin. All right? Illiyin. All right? You have two shaddas coming together. For example, yaz, zakka. Yaz, zakka. All right? And you have more examples like that in the Quran. But two shaddas can come one after the other in certain words of the Quran. Let us look at something else now. We have, see if we could make out the letters in the meanwhile. All right. If there is a hamza below, it means it's a kasra. All right. So we have the letters fa, fatha, fa. This alif is not lengthening the fatha sound. Why? Because there is a hamza here indicating that this alif is not a lengthener. So it is fa short, fa-i, fa-idha, fa short, i short, dha lengthened, fa-idha. Then we have jim with an alif and a mad. So we go ja. All right? When you're learning the rules of tajweed, and you'll know how long you go, like for six beats, which when you grasp, you make a fist like this and you release one finger at a time. All right? It's called each one is called a beat, one at a time. So you lengthen it for 6 beats. All right? فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ and so on. Ta will be joined straight to the ta. The alif is silent here. The lam is silent. So then you will see something like this over the lam. So as long as you see this, that means the lam is silent. Don't worry yourself. You go straight from this to this. So the ta joined to a ta. So we have tit. So we have ja'atit ta. Right? Tom. And you may have a shadda here too. All right? Tom. So we lengthen the ta. We have tom. And then you go straight to the mim. Tommatul kubra. All right? So we have 2 shaddas coming together. First you lengthen, and after you're coming to the end, you're not stopping there, but you're joining to the next letter. So it'll be tom, and we go into the mim one time. All right? فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الطَّامَّةُ الْكُبْرَى. The alif is silent. All right? So you might see something like that over it. And the ta joined to the lam. This is the letter kaf. Joined to a ba. Kub. And ra. Remember I told you this is alif maqsura. All right? The alif coming to the end of a word. It has no dots. All right? And it lengthens the fatha sound. فإذا جاءت الطامة الكبرى. All right? These are some of the rules that you can find. Some of the few that you will find in the Quran, and you need to be aware of how they are pronounced and how they are being joined and how they are read. But as I have mentioned before, to get perfect in them, you will have to learn some rules of what is called tajweed. All right? Tajweed. So we have wala, all right, wala, wa, la, ana. So the Quran may have it like this with a little zero like this. It's more of an oval shape, all right? So it is telling you not to lengthen the noon sound. So you just go short. You just go ana. Not ana, but just ana. All right? This word ana is a tricky word. It means I. All right? I. If it is the last word in a sentence, in a statement, it is lengthened. So you go ana. All right? But if it is within a sentence, all right, like this, then it goes short. Right? Ana. It's just like how we speak in English sometimes. You might say I, you lengthen it, say I, or I. I. All right? So we have ana. Then we have a, b. You have a tanween here. And then you have a meme. Like this. All right? How it is you're going to join these two. So then, this is a rule of, again, recitation, where you will have to ignore one of the Dhamma, all right, and join Dal, consider it as Dal Dhamma alone, one Dhamma, and join to the meme. So, A, B, Dum. A, B, Dum. Ma, Abat, Tum. All right, you may not see anything above the dal. So it is telling you to join the ba straight to the ta. Abat tum. So come back here again. A, B, dun. We don't say dun, we don't bring in the end song. All right, there is no end song. So it's just considered to be a single Dhamma. Why? Because you have this sign, right? So it will be pronounced Dal Dhamma joined to a meme. Dum ma. Shadda indicates that letter is doubled, must be joined to the previous letter and called again. So abidum ma abattum. All right? So these are some of the examples that I thought that I would bring to you today. I hope, inshallah, that you would remember them, digest them. Inshallah, if you can, rewind your TV, if you can go back and look at it again, or however, inshallah, hopefully that you will be able to read, inshallah. So we will take a copy of the Quran, all right? And I want you to, let me show you, see the Quran here? Any page of the Quran, let me stop, right? Anywhere, all right? So let's say we are in page, we have to know the numbers. So let me write the numbers for you quickly. This is Wahid, اثنان ثلاثة أربعة خمسة ستة سبعة ثمانية تسعة, and we have عشرة. All right, so this 1, all right. So let's say we are in anyone I could choose. All right, so this one starts Alhamdulillah alladhi. So Alhamdulillah is, everybody is accustomed to Alhamdulillah. So let's say we're taking the last line of 1, 2, 7, right? Page 127, page 127, all right? Last line. What does it say? It goes like this. All right, so we could read it. Lillahi mulkus. This is silent. That is silent. Let me see how it's written here. So we have the little thing above here. All right. Wal ard. Wal ard. Right? Lillahi mulku samawati wal ard. To Allah belongs the heavens and the earth. All right? The possession of the heavens and the earth. And it continues like this. So we have fi, and maybe you may not have anything here. Let me see what is written here. All right, so there is nothing above the ya. So if there is nothing above the ya, it means that the ya is lengthening the kesra sound. All right? So you have fi, hinna. All right? And what in them. That is in the heavens and the earth. Everything belongs to Allah. All right? Wa huwa, let's see. Wa huwa ala kulli all right. Wa huwa ala. All right, so hopefully, inshallah, you'll be able to read it. Wa ma fi hinna wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. Right? Qadir. It's qadirun, but it's just qadir. All right? Qadir. So anywhere you could open the Quran, any page, and we can read. The next page. So I just wanted you to know that if you have been following up with all of the classes and all of the previous ones, you should be able by now to be able to read in any passage from the Quran, from any page. All right? But as I have mentioned before into this session, that if you want to get perfect and you want to get good in the recitation of the Quran, you will have to learn some rules, which is the rules of tajweed. All right? So inshallah, our next class we will be going into the Arabic language, inshallah. So if you're a person who is interested in languages, then IBN is the right place for you to be hooked onto, inshallah. And inshallah, you will find it very simple, very easy. We'll be using a textbook, and inshallah, we'll be going through it, and hopefully, you'll be on your way. Again, I would like to remind you of to make an announcement here of the calligraphy competition for the children. There are 3 different categories: infant, juniors, and seniors. All right, and it is for the children to write simple Arabic script, like the word, 1 word or 2 words, like Allah or Muhammad or Allahu Akbar or Subhanallah. But the biggest you're allowed to write it is 24 inches, I think it is. All right, 24 by 24. All right, and you can paint it, you can use glitters, you can use it with crayons, but the main idea is to write it as best as you can, and give it to your principal, whichever school, the TML, the TIA, and inshallah the principals will be able to forward it to the competition. The competition prices are $3,000 first prize, second prize $2,000 and $1,000, inshallah. Brother Jamal Mohammed, who normally conducts his session on the IBN station, will tell you more about it. But this is happening quite young in July, the 9th of July, inshallah ta'ala. That's the closing date for it. I hope, inshallah, you will be able to compete, and I wish you all the best for that competition. All right, so next week, inshallah, we will be looking and going straight into the Arabic language. I want to thank you very much for joining my class. And inshallah, if you have any problems in our classes, inshallah, we will have some classes in which we will be opening the lines. We'll have some live sessions where you'll be able to call in and ask your questions. So you take care then until next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
For the everyday lowest prices on all grocery items, trust Low Cost Supermarket for the widest variety of quality products at low prices. Freshly picked fruits and vegetables, healthy products for your well-being, high quality meat cuts,